What is up, everybody? It is hashtag follow the conversation, episode 19. My name is Michael Nip. Here I am. Sorry, I had the camera messed up. And this is my co-host, Drewby.
Yeah! It's podcast time, people! Whoa!
You realize that this is a video podcast so people can see that you are not very turned up.
Yeah. Go team. Go.
We seem to be having an extreme amount of lag tonight, but we're going to deal with it.
Yeah. That's kind of what it seems like.
Yeah, this is the cultureonpeople.com. This is a nerd culture video game. No, not video. This is a nerd website. We just hang out on hashtag. This is the show where we kind of just talk about whatever we feel like. I'm in a good mood because this has been a good week for the part of nerd culture that intersects with my life. I don't know about you.
Oh, well, I'm sure we'll hear all about it.
We're going to hear a lot of stuff. This is a very happy week for me. First, the song that I started the show off with is called Don't Matter by Akon. I was listening to Sirius XM, the radio that I got, and totally dig that song. So that's a good thing. Good thing number one.
Okay. All right.
Good thing number two. There is a Weezer album that was released this week that I really like. It is called Everything Will Be Alright in the End.
Will it?
And I think the album thinks so. Let's see if I can find this.
Okay.
I can't find the album because I suck at Spotify, but I'll find it eventually while I'm talking about it. I really like it. It's pretty good. I was listening to it when we started the call. Here's a piece of it. I'm going to have to skip ahead because the first beginning is talking. Ain't got nobody to kiss or hug me. That's what they're saying.
I kind of like the instruments on that one.
Yeah, I really, really like Weezer. If we have not discussed that on the show before, I've discovered the Blue Album last year. I discovered Weezer period last year. Started listening to the Blue Album, and it's now one of my favorite albums of all time. So, listened to a lot of Weezer, and I was excited to hear about. I recorded the music minisode before, and put it at the end of one of the hashtags. So you might have heard it, where I just kind of give a little bit of my history with Weezer. Really like the band, really like this album as well. You listen to it, you like it?
Yeah, probably not as much as you. I haven't listened to it a whole lot. There is another album that came out that I think I like better. Yellowcard dropped an album, and I think I might like that one better. This album, it's got some, like, Back to the Shack. Cleopatra was in my head yesterday, I believe. There's the song that you mentioned, Anonymous, that you liked. It's got some stuff on it. I'm not like super like, wow, this album's amazing. But it's not bad. It's Weezer. I think their other stuff might be better. Blue specifically, if not. I discovered Red. I was listening to Red last week, I believe. So the Red album, that one's not too bad either.
It's okay. You're not one to get that into music though, are you?
No, really. I can like this the Ed album Multiply is Ed Sheeran album. Multiply is pretty dope. But you're more the music nerd, more the Weezer man than I.
You mentioned the Yellowcard album. That's also really good. I listened to that. I'm going to play a clip from one of my favorite songs from that album, Transmission Home. It's really, really good. I especially like the songs Transmission Home and One Bedroom, which both made it onto my 2014 faves playlist, which you can find under Michael Nip on Spotify.
Right.
I keep that playlist updated as I listen to albums, which I try to a lot.
What about Weezer's? I mean, it's Weezer. What about this? Are you a Yellowcard fan? Is there something specific about this album?
No, I like Yellowcard. I've liked them for a while now. I did not know this album existed. It was one of those where I was like I knew I was waiting for the Weezer one. I was hyped for it. The Yellowcard album, I was just checking through new releases because I tend to do that. I try to do that every week. I don't always get to. And was like, Yellowcard has a new album. What the heck is that? And like started playing, and it was like, this is really good. This is like a good upgraded to mature, more sounding Yellowcard. And then I went through and listened to all of Yellowcard's albums yesterday.
All right. Is there anything specific about Transmission Home that kind of you said you like that song?
Well, it's that riff. That riff behind the backing of the music, like it's got the super pop punk feel that makes me have nostalgia for a certain time in my life, basically high school, when that kind of pop punk was more popular. The Jimmy Eat Worlds, which I liked last year, or the Paramore, which I liked last year. Like, I like that genre of music a lot. So being able to hear some good examples of that genre of music at any time makes me happy inside.
All right. That if liking an album because it takes you back, that's not a bad reason to like an album.
You don't? Do you really listen to R&B?
Not really. No, not really. I'm sure I've listened to some stuff, but it's not my go-to genre.
Okay, this is a song that I found on SiriusXM as well. It's basically it's a number one on R&B charts and stuff, so it's not surprising if you haven't heard it. But when I was driving, the song sometimes shows up a little bit before the music starts playing, and I saw that it was both a Chris Brown and an Usher song, which got me excited for New Flame. If you listen to R&B, I'm sure you've heard of it.
Here looking at each other, baby, eye to eye. And I'm hoping that
Which I can't play very much because I don't want to get this banned on YouTube. Really, really good song. All these songs are on Spotify. I'm playing them from Spotify. So anytime I mention a song, you can check it out there for free with ads.
There you go.
New Flame, Chris Brown, Usher, and Rick Ross. I like it. There's an edited version because there's a little bit of N-words going on from the black people, but you know, that's how they do.
It's okay. They can't say cracker, so.
No, they can. Anyone can say cracker. Polly, want a cracker?
Sure. I'll take a cracker.
Yeah.
Take your
Anyway, yeah, I like to keep that playlist updated. I want people to follow that playlist. I want to see if people like it. My music taste is pretty broad, so there might be something on there that you like. There's probably stuff on there you don't like this. Which is Gasoline by Demon Hunter.
All right, I like Demon Hunter's album. True Defiance.
Yep.
That one's not bad.
That was a very, very good album for me, especially. I liked it a lot.
Okay. All right. Music. It's an interesting time for me. I mean, Weezer. They came back. This is their first album in what?
4 or 5 years, maybe.
When I read it, was read it to 2010.
Well, I think the most recent one is Death to False Metal, which I think was also 2010.
You know, there's this thing called the internet. We can check.
I'm looking at Spotify. I mean, I could look it up just as easily as you can, but I'm not because
I don't know if I've listened to Death to Metal.
Death to False Metal. It's pretty good.
Read it to 2009. Hurley 2010. I don't. Okay, Death to False Metal. I don't think is on Google. That's why. Oh, there it is. 2010. All right.
Okay, so they released 2 albums in 1 year, I guess, because Hurley, which is also good.
You're not as big of a fan of that album, but you recently discovered kind of Trainwrecks. That song kind of became popular.
No,
for you.
Hurley's not bad. I don't think it's a bad album. I didn't know about it very much until recently. But yeah, I really like the song Trainwrecks.
All right. Yeah. I went back, I listened to some Carmen today. I found a video on the YouTubes of, do you remember a kid who got up on stage and rapped amazingly with Carmen on Look at Me Now?
I do remember that. It was a white kid that could also rap pretty quickly.
There was a video. I found a video on YouTube of someone with a cell phone I'm assuming it was a cell phone recorded him singing on stage. The audio was
our concert.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it was uploaded by that kid. Listen to some stuff. Have you watched the music video for Acapella?
No, I have not.
Okay, that music video is. I was funny. I shared it with a coworker today. I saw this part. Basically, at the part where she sings in falsetto, and at the very end of it, it like stops and like toast pops out of this toaster. Nick grabs it like on a couch, and then he like throws it to a different scene, and then she grabs it and eats it. Like just
nice.
Some toast with like a doll. It was just funny. Listen to some Carmen. So if you guys haven't checked out Carmen, I mean, it's not super recent. I mean, I think Pulses came out this year, but it's dope.
Pulses did come out this year. This is the song that Drewby's talking about. It's on my playlist. Acapella.
You bet I totes believed her. Yeah, every word she said. Thought he was gluten-free, but all that I got was bread.
She's like a white singer, rapper, person in one. She's like the better Nicki Minaj. Like the 1,100,000% times better Nicki Minaj.
Are you a Nicki Minaj fan?
She's even better than Iggy. No, I hate Nicki Minaj with a passion unbridled.
Okay. Okay. No, don't hold back.
No, I think the song Super Bass is sometimes cool when covered by other people. I like the version that Daystorm does with Megan Nicole, but I do not like Nicki Minaj ever at all.
All right. While we're on the topic of music, we demand Reliant K, Omaha's number 14. So I am still the top fan for Reliant K. So I am, yeah. They're gonna come here again. Be nice.
I would love them to come here again. I'd like to see that concert.
Well, yeah, but it's different.
It's sad reasons.
Maybe it's sad, but because like they're not as good as they used to be. But it's a reunion tour. It'd be cool. They're getting their band back together, so to speak.
At the same time, it's also kind of sad because we are early 20-somethings that are having nostalgia for high school. Like, that's really stupid. A lot of levels. I mean, it's the same nostalgia that makes me like Simple Plan still, but it's a stupid nostalgia.
Okay, but I mean, I'm not necessarily getting nostalgia for that. At least right now. I mean, that I just want Reliant K to come to Omaha, and I'm their top fan on Weezer.
But the point of the tour is nostalgia. That's why they're doing the re-tour. Like it's all about nostalgia.
Because they've got nothing better to do.
Because they could do. What are you talking about? Their last album was really good. We talked about it on the site as being a really good album. The album before that I didn't like when it came out, but I really like now. Like, they're not doing bad. They did a cover album or 2 cover albums that were really good. They're not in a slump. They just grew up.
Well, what's up with the reunion tour then? I mean, why
they may not be selling because people that like Reliant K may not have grown up, but I think Reliant K has grown up and I think they're better for it.
You're saying that they're not in a slump, but then you're saying that they're not selling? They may not be selling?
You can both be artistically not in a slump and not selling albums.
But if you just because you may not be artistically in a slump does not mean that you're doing well as a band.
You do not. I'm arguing art over money.
And I'm saying that money keeps a band going more than art.
But I don't think that's not the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
Obviously, they're trying to make money.
They have to.
That's why they're doing this.
Okay.
I just think that's a sad reason to have to do something that is creatively stifling you and putting you off another year.
You're such a hippie.
No, I just like art. I mean, people
How
call
are
me
they
hipster
supposed
or
to
whatever.
make money? How are they supposed to keep going? Like you're saying, like oh,
Maybe their fans should stop living like it's 2005 or whatever.
and buy their new stuff.
Yes. It's good. It's really good. We've talked about it lots of times.
Yeah, you would recommend Birds and the B-Sides to people.
I don't think Birds and the B-Sides is good. I think that's their only really not good album. And I still like songs on that album.
You would put that album, Birds and the B-Sides, underneath Relient K.
Okay, assuming that they're in a linear trajectory where they're getting better, they're getting better, they're getting better. The Birds and the B-Sides is an actual that's an actual slump, creatively and sales-wise.
Okay, how about all right? Here, question: would you put Forget and Not Slow Down over or under 5 score?
At this point in my life, I would probably put it above, though
Ooh.
I liked 5 Score a lot better when it came out. 5 Score feels like a high school album to me. Like it's all poppy and sappy, and it has some good songs on it that are still relevant, I think, now that we're adults. But when you're hearing songs like The Best Thing and what's that other song? I have Spotify, hold on. When you have songs like The Best Thing and Must Have Done Something Right. Like those are really kind of kiddie. They're not bad, but they're for a generation that we are no longer part of, and neither are they. They're fun to sing, but artistically they've moved on. That shows. Are you looking for something specific?
I'm not looking for anything specific. No.
Okay. The song "The Stenographer" from the Bird and the B-Sides
Yes.
is amazing. I love that song, by the way.
Smith Wesson Jr. was a son of a gun.
He put his nose up to my head. I was sweating bullets, but I dodged the one that was not as much sweat as was lead. That is such a funny, stupid, punny line. I love it. It's a great song. I wish it was more than a demo, but it's not. Alas.
Alrighty. So, there's more news came out this week other than music news or that's terrible. That's not even true. Some big news dropped this week for you as a fan of a certain TV series.
As someone that has been a known apologist for the TV show Twin Peaks, and I think that we even mentioned there was a possibility that the show may be coming back last week because of a couple tweets that were tweeted by David Lynch and Mark Frost, the creators of Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is coming back for a 3rd season in 2016. And I am super psyched. They're trying to get as many as the original cast as possible. They're not rebooting. They're not going back and trying to start where they left off. They're treating it as if 25 years has passed, and they are going back to Twin Peaks 25 years later. It's just a mini-series, I think, which is like 9 episodes, which is as long as the first season of Twin Peaks, though it's possible if it does really well, they may continue it. I don't know. I am super, super excited to have more Twin Peaks. Someone that has just jumped on to the series like this year, I've not been waiting nearly as long as the people that have been waiting 25 years. But I am excited as well as those people.
Alrighty. Here's something.
You have
I
nothing
don't know
to say?
I don't. Is this my brooding music? I'll just brood.
Yeah, this is your tonal music.
All right. So, I don't know if this is something you've considered. The show is releasing on the network Showtime.
Yes.
Do you think that you should probably be prepared for the chance that you may not be able to watch this TV show?
I am prepared for the inevitability that there will be things in that TV show that I may not end up watching it, but I'm hoping that is not the case.
All right.
I did not watch the movie for moral choice reasons, but I'm very much hoping that it's something that I will watch, and something that I will love, and something that I will have to find cable for, because I don't know if it'll be on Hulu. We'll see.
Is there a Showtime app, or is that like a pay subscribe thing?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about Showtime, honestly.
I don't. Okay. All right. Well, this is interesting. I've only seen the pilot of this show. I get my understanding, or I'm assuming it just gets weirder from there. It's on Hulu right now, so if you are interested at all and you are a subscriber to Hulu Plus, you can check out this show there. I may be checking it out in the future.
If you want to see an American's take on something that feels like an anime, Twin Peaks may be for you.
Would you consider that maybe an anime, an American anime?
Obviously not by like the technical definition, which is animation. Yeah. But I think it has the feel of a very Japanese, twisted, super weird plot. Something that you may get from one of the numerous JRPGs that I've played before.
Does it make more sense than Full Metal Alchemist?
What do you mean, does it make more sense?
Full Metal Alchemist
makes sense.
It's an anime, though. I mean, it's probably the most anime that actually makes sense as maybe a coherent plot.
You obviously have not finished Full Metal Alchemist because that series does not make any sense.
Okay.
It is the most random, like, kludged piece of like confusion that I've seen for a while. That show makes no sense. I'm talking about the regular Full Metal Alchemist, obviously, not Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. The regular Full Metal Alchemist at the end, the last like 5 episodes, my entire mind just shut down. Like, I do not understand what's happening at all.
Do you have to basically come up with theories to make it all make sense, similar to the way fans did for Mass Effect 3?
No, I mean the story's explained. There's not a lot that are like. It's not something like Mass Effect 3 where it's complete crap and you have to pretend that it's better in your head, which is what happens in Mass Effect 3.
Okay. Well,
we've considered doing a Twin Peaks podcast on the network before, where we watch an episode and then talk about it. This is a place that we could do that discussion.
Twin Peaks, it's a thing. Some fans kind of came out on Twitter that people were a little excited for that.
I'm glad that a lot of my video game journalist circle, video game critic, they don't like being called journalists. Video game critic circle seems to like Twin Peaks.
The journalist has a negative term right now.
No. They just don't like the term. Like, even before this, they don't like the term journalist because, especially like the guys at Giant Bomb, aren't really journalists. They're more critics, or in fact, a lot of the time the Giant Bomb guys are just being silly, like doing neither.
You wouldn't consider Patrick Klepek a journalist?
He's the only one that's close.
Yep. Right.
But the other ones don't really do news. I mean, I guess they post trailers, but I don't know if that is enough.
Okay.
But they don't like to be called journalists, so I don't call them journalists.
You friendly like that? Just try to be friends with everyone?
I try to be friends with people that there's no reason not to be friends with them.
All right.
Like, I would not be friends with Adolf Hitler, probably. He was not a nice man. He was very mean. He was very racist.
Okay.
I would not be friends with him.
Alrighty. So, we have...
Is there anything that you care about? Like, do you like Arrow Season 3? Like, you're just super mellow tonight.
I'm just holding the conversation. That's what we do here. If you want me to start getting into some of this comic, I can go off on this stuff. So, all right, I will go off on this. So, this week, Flash Season 1 pilot. I guess anyway, the pilot for Flash came out. That was released on Tuesday. Arrow Season 3 launched last night, Wednesday night. I did not watch any of those live. I watched Flash Wednesday morning before work and Arrow this morning before work.
This is your Arrow music.
I just gotta think. This is Arrow. What? I guess Oliver Queen is a little. Okay. All right. Okay. So, I was not the biggest fan of Arrow season 1. I watched Arrow season 2, and I really liked it. I thought it was a great season. You have not seen it yet. If you want to watch Arrow season 2, first you need to watch Arrow season 1. I would recommend that. There's some stuff there that happens that you should probably be aware of. Arrow season 2 is out on Netflix. That came out on Netflix yesterday. Your brother is actually working his way through right now. I got a text from him earlier that said he was on episode 11. So he's working his way through that. Flash. All right. So they introduced Flash in the middle of season 2 last year, and that's kind of we got this information that Flash TV series was coming. I watched the pilot. I liked it. It's not as dark or as serious as the TV show Arrow. Barry Allen is. They got Grant something who plays him. I think he does fine. This show has the potential to get weird. They've said that this is going to be the most. I think the most like true to the comics TV show I think that they've done or something along those lines. Shut up, Cornelius. Shut up.
Yes, thank you. The people in the chat, man, do not like Arrow. Keep going.
All right. There was a cage that had been broken open that had the nameplate, or that had a name on the cage, Grodd. All right? That is the potential. There's a potential for this show to get weird if they start introducing talking gorillas and Gorilla Grodd. All right? I liked it. It's a great place to jump on. You don't need to watch any of Arrow season 2 really to. You're not really going to miss a whole lot. But it was great. You're going to get. Well, there's a big plot twist at the end. I think you should watch it. I guess. Man. Arrow season 2, season 3. I can't really say anything about the show because this. I liked it, though I think I might have liked the Flash episode better. I like Arrow. We've been at work. We've been kind of going back on theories, trying to explain different stuff. Let me just say that, and I will say this, and I will stop talking about Arrow unless you guys have questions. At the end of the season 3 intro, the premiere for season 3 of Arrow, I think it's probably the biggest plot twist. Maybe one of the biggest plot twists. I was literally I was a little stunned, a little freaking out when I watched it. Like they did something off the walls, but you can't really understand what they did until you watch season 2. Michael, do you have any interest? Are you planning on catching up on Arrow season 2?
I almost watched the first episode, and then I decided I wanted to watch our sister site's video, Giant Bomb vs. Roller Coaster, which I thought was hilarious.
Okay. All right. Well.
Hold on. I am not as interested in Arrow as you are, but the chat just said Arrow doesn't make any sense. Okay, it's a superhero show. I don't know what you're talking about. There are no superhero shows on Earth except for Spider-Man that make any sense, because Spider-Man is basically real life. It's the story of me metaphorically.
No, that's not true. You're gonna have to clarify if why you think Arrow doesn't make any sense. If you go into it thinking yes, it's a story about a superhero, then. Cornelius, you should watch season 2. You might feel a little bit better about that. Yeah, you should really, but. So anyway, the other show I've been watching, I am caught up with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I did not like that show last season. I tried to watch it, and the character Skye was really irritating me. She is bearable I don't mind her in this season so far. So I'm watching that one, and it's not too bad. Let's see, Gotham. Flash was better than Gotham. If I start falling behind on TV shows, that's the one that I'll probably stop watching. That I may stop watching. And then Brooklyn Nine-Nine, a new episode of that dropped. That one was pretty funny. Have you seen the second episode of Brooklyn yet?
I have not, but I did just notice that's the only show that you're watching that's not a comic book show.
Constantine is dropping also at some point. Maybe that'll do better than Gotham. Did you know that that CBS has locked in a deal for a Supergirl show?
No,
CBS
I did not. Does that sound interesting to you?
It could, maybe, if depending on what they do with like the one of the reasons that this stuff might be a little bit more interesting, and it was mentioned on another, I think it was a podcast I was listening to where they mentioned it, is that Arrow and Flash are kind of, they're not super developed characters as far as in people's minds. Like, you got Superman, you got Batman, and then you got like Marvel, and like Batman and Superman, you kind of know who those people are. You might have a different expectation for those where they should take those movies or TV shows or stories. Green Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, those are kind of in the back a little bit, so you can you have a little bit more creative room. Might not be the right word, but you can do a little bit more with your story, or people have lower expectations, and then your show is less likely to fail, I guess, because you're not. It's disappointing. Like Gotham, they're kind of taking a risk by doing a show in the Batman universe and then not really having Batman in it, and that may be one of the reasons why that show is suffering. It's just because like this whole the Batman, who is one of the coolest superheroes, is not even a thing in his own story, basically. But anyway, I watched those, and when I watched Arrow season 2, I was able to. I'm gonna stop talking about Arrow. I don't think people. I said I was gonna stop talking about Arrow.
Are you interested in a Star Wars movie not about Jedi?
Would I be interested in a Star Wars movie not about Jedi? Well, that's kind of what the original 3 were. They weren't.
The original 3 are all about Luke becoming a Jedi.
It's not what they're all. Predominantly, there are no Jedi in that. Predominantly, like Luke in the first 2 movies, Luke like has his lightsaber out only like a couple times, and it's like ships and the rebels fighting the Empire.
Episode 4 is one of their major points of Episode 4 was the lightsaber battle between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader.
Yeah, but that's not like the movie's not.
Episode 5, one of the climaxes is Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader.
Yeah, but that's not. It's not about Jedi in the way that the original 3 were. Like,
that's fair. Are you interested in a Star Wars that's not about Jedi?
Possibly. You just don't seem to like Gotham, and your main point has been that it doesn't have Batman. Like, I don't think that's necessarily a negative. I haven't seen the show. There may be other problems with it, but that can't just be a problem necessarily. Like, it could be a good show and not be about Batman. Would you watch a cop show? Do you like cop shows?
If it was a good cop show, I would.
NCIS?
I don't think NCIS is a good cop show. I think NCIS is a garbage cop show.
Oh. I guess maybe it might work. Gotham is just, it's not. It's meh. Like, there's nothing like super huge or awesome. I mean, their big story in Gotham is like who killed what is his name? Martha Wayne and her husband. Bruce is dead. Anyway, who killed the Waynes? That's kind of the thing that they've got going on. That's what they need to get working. So, Anyway, if that like an Arrow season 3, you've got the plot twist at the end of season 1, which is a big deal, and that's going to drive the story for a little bit. Like in Gotham, it's like, okay, who killed the Wayne parents? And it's like, Joe Chill. I mean, I don't know. It's just not as big of a deal, I guess. And so.
Chat us if we've heard of Star Wars Rebel. I don't know what that is. Do you?
See,
you don't, is it a Star Wars TV show?
You're not familiar with. You should be familiar with Star Wars Rebels. Rebels. It is. It's a Star Wars cartoon that's based on the original. It takes place during the original. No, before Episode 4, like in between 3 and like during the rise of the Empire. During the Empire is gone. The Jedi are gone. All the events of Episode 3 have taken place. Now, then this show is taking place during that. Using the animation style of the first series. The cartoon.
Clone Wars?
Yes. I actually have seen some of that. That show's good if you like the cartoon stuff. I don't know if I'm super excited. I'm not really super excited about it. It could be good. I haven't finished Clone Wars, so I mean, if I'm gonna watch Rebels, I may want to go finish the Clone Wars because Rebels might deal with some of that stuff. I think there are some people I think might be excited for it on the internet. They're gonna have like this. I'm not sure if it's a Sith Lord or like a Jedi bounty hunter or some like evil dude that I don't know. I'm not the right person to ask about that.
You're the biggest Star Wars nerd we have on this podcast.
Well, that show is not really.
Is it a kid's show or is it like not a kid's show?
It's a kid's show. I would say it's a kid's show in the way that like Avatar, The Last Airbender is. Like they deal with serious elements, and I think there's some serious stuff that are taking place, but like it can be for kids too. Okay. I mean, I think there are adults that like the Clone Wars, so.
There are also adults that like My Little Pony, and that's not really a good judge.
It might be. It could be.
Do you want to go watch My Little Pony?
Maybe.
That's fair. I'm not gonna tell you that it's. I've never seen it. I can't say it's good or bad. I can say it's colorful.
I'll probably finish this Parks and Rec episode. So.
Why did you bring that up?
We're talking about TV. You're talking about me going to watch My Little Pony. I said I'll probably finish this Parks and Rec episode.
We're still going through Parks and Rec. We're also watching a lot of 19 Kids and Counting because I bought the next season for my wife. That's the show we watch together.
What's the occasion?
Do we watch TV together?
Alright. Well,
so we're watching season 13. Okay.
13?
Yes.
That's a lot. That's a lot of seasons.
It's a lot of seasons.
How?
Okay, here's the deal.
Has that show been going for 13 years?
No, I think there's 2 seasons a year.
Well, that's stupid.
So did Psych. Psych had 2 sections of seasons a year at least.
What they do a break between Christmas, for Christmas?
Yeah, there was like it was like a weird thing.
All right.
Anyway, obviously 19 Kids and Counting shares a demographic with our website, so I'll go into detail about the demographic. No, there is a couple. There's a friend of the family. The Duggar family is who 19 Kids and Counting is about. There is a family friend, another family that are friends with the Duggars named the Bates. Okay. They seem like nice people. They have a lot of kids as well. Like that's one of the things they have in common. Is why they're able to be friends, and they share that. One of the daughters, I don't remember her name, just got married on the show, and I don't think she realized that the decade is no longer 1980 something.
Okay.
Because she had the worst hair that I've ever seen since a TV show. Like Twin Peaks has bad hair. It's like.
What's the
really,
name of the
really
daughter? What's the name of the
I
dog?
don't remember her name. I cannot remember. Something Bates. She also had a really, really, really strong accent, which I was laughing at the entire time. I like to interject comments during the show, which I'm not even sure if my wife appreciates. I would assume she does because she appreciates the things that I say. But some of the things that they were saying, like they could not pronounce a word with ing at the end, with the full ing. Everything was texting and writing and the wedding. Like there was no wedding, texting, or writing. What are you looking for? That daughter?
I'm gonna find.
Speaking of which, Drewby, you're single. There are still single Duggars your age.
I'll get on that, I guess. No, I won't. I'm not. I don't know them. I don't know how to get a hold of them.
They're on Instagram for one. Second of all, there's a lot of girls that you would like to date that you don't know. You mentioned you would date Taylor Swift last week.
So do I just take a selfie and post it on their Instagram or something like that?
No, you just like all their photos in chain. It's not creepy.
Every single. Okay. All right. Anyway.
Step 2 is just to Betsy, is what Cornelia said. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I'm not sure if he watches 19 Kids Are Counting or if he's just picking a southern-sounding name.
Aaron Bates?
He said Betsy. I don't think Betsy's right. Betsy Bates?
The Duggars celebrate Aaron Bates' sweet wedding.
Probably then.
Well,
Ain't got nobody. Ain't got nobody.
if this is indeed the bride, and I don't watch the show, it doesn't look that bad.
Well, her hair was a little different for the wedding, but normally it is bad. Oh, they also got married and moved into a pink bedroom, which I'm not sure I would be okay with. Like the dude was like, "Hey, she's wanted a pink." He was like, "Hey, she's wanted a pink bedroom her entire life," and he was like, "Well, so I'm gonna let her have this dream." And I'm like, I don't think it's worth living in a pink bedroom. If I got married and my wife wanted to move into a pink frilly bedroom, like it had like pink drape, like it looked like a princess bedroom, I would be like, I'm gonna go sleep on the couch, I think.
Should we just put a Barbie castle and Barbie's Corvette in there as well?
Yeah, and like play what's that Barbie's Pony Adventure video game, and like switch everything to like super girly mode. Like I don't know if I'd be okay with that.
Pink GBA.
Yeah, watch some My Little Pony. Oh wait, that's for adults. Never mind.
Oh. Was there a pink GBA? There's a purple one.
I don't know.
All right.
Chat suggests we talk about your feelings. How are you feeling right now?
Let's not talk about my feelings. Let's move on.
Is hunger a feeling? I feel that. No. Desire to eat. Is that a feeling? I feel that.
8. I didn't eat lunch today. Like I had a bowl of cereal for breakfast, and I didn't eat lunch today. And I came home and ate a plate of food.
Since we have talked, on hashtag at least, I have discovered that my wisdom teeth are growing in, and they're destroying. They're trying to make way into my other teeth, and I am no longer able to close my jaw all the way, which means I cannot eat food, really, and like I can chew it kind of, and it is painful. So I am not able to enjoy food the way that I have been, and it is making me extremely sad. It's starting to tax on me.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to miss any podcasts because of my wisdom teeth surgery. It got scheduled, but I think we're safe because it's on a Friday, so we should be good.
All right.
But I may be in more pain over the next couple podcasts. We'll see.
What if you just left your mouth the way it is, and then you stopped eating as much? And then you could combine this with your workout and lose weight.
Because it would eventually grow in and destroy my bite, and I couldn't eat regular food at all.
All right.
I think that we can establish safely on the podcast that inflicting self-pain is never a solution to any problem.
What if there was a death trap, and the only way to get out of it was to inflict pain upon yourself?
You should not do it.
And die instead.
For the cause. Martyrdom.
As opposed to just pinching yourself a little bit to cause some pain.
That's not pain. That's just waking up from a dream. The amount of pain that I experience when I try to bite my jaw together is not
right.
the amount of pain
All
you
right.
get from a pinch.
All right, go ahead, pinch yourself and tell me pinch yourself real good and tell me that doesn't hurt. That's just
Are you
really-
going to tell me that to get rid of my life's problems, I should be able to take a knife to my hand? Because that's not funny.
That's not what I said.
There are people in real life that get surgeries done on their mouth, so it is painful for them to eat food so they can lose weight. Like, people get surgeries done to inflict pain on their own mouths.
Is that
There are better ways to lose weight.
all right? All right. Concede. I concede.
Anyway,
Not
the
good.
dentist told me I have like pus growing in my gums, so he's been wanting me to like swish hydrogen peroxide. That stuff is nasty.
Charming. That's
Disgusting.
that's really charming, dude.
But upside, hydrogen peroxide makes your teeth really clean and it makes them white.
Is that the secret? Is that what you got to do? Is that what I need? Is that what I need to do?
Maybe. Are your teeth not white? I can't tell. This is a bad camera. But like, I put it in my mouthwash, I swish it, and they look good now. My teeth feel good.
Next time I see you,
Except
I'll
for
just
that
come
one-
up and
Except for the one tooth.
except for that one tooth.
Doesn't feel good.
So 2 weeks you get that sucker pulled.
Yeah, something like that. I'm getting all 4 pulled just because they're all going to be a problem at some point.
Well,
I have an emotional attachment to my wisdom teeth. Like, literally, a part of me is being removed from myself, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm extremely sad about the amount of money that will leave my wallet when that process takes place. I'm extremely sad about my teeth leaving my mouth when that takes place. I'm extremely sad that I'm going to be put under and come back probably a raving lunatic. I'll be sad about that, or maybe happy.
will you be happy that you will be once you heal up and you're all good again that you'll be able to eat properly?
I will be happy to eat properly again, and I will be even happier because I will probably have some sort of painkiller prescription.
What happened? What happened that this happened just overnight? Like you were fine when you went to bed, and then you woke up and your jaw hurt. Like
I think my tooth poked through the gum and got infected.
overnight.
I mean, it's probably been trying to poke through the gum for some time and was able to poke through. Okay, I will establish this in the least gross ways possible. I do not have dental hygiene that is very good. My dental hygiene is very poor.
Okay.
So it does not surprise me that if a tooth were to bust through in the back of my gums, where I do especially do not take care of my mouth, it were to get pus on it very quickly. I'll establish that.
All right. Alrighty. Well, maybe you should take care of your mouth. Maybe that is this. That's the other.
I think
moral to
that is the
story.
lesson. I think that is the lesson I'm learning. My mouth is very precious. Now that I can use it to chew correctly, I am very sad, and I am regretting the decision to not have my wisdom teeth removed earlier when I had 2 other surgeries scheduled, and I postponed them because I didn't feel like doing it.
You know what the first moral of the story is, right?
Don't grow wisdom teeth.
You can't trust the system.
I think that's the moral for every story, though. Like, the moral for every system is to fight the power because the man is evil. You can't ever trust the system.
Okay. Alrighty. You heard it here, folks. Fight the government.
Not the government, just the power. It's a nebulous power. I'm not going to assign it to a specific person.
Don't fight the government. Don't do it.
Don't fight the government. Ever. You should submit to the government.
Mm,
No matter what they say.
maybe.
They're your friends.
The government would never just turn around and stab you in the back.
They've never... Historically, governments have always been positive, and they have supported the people that they're governed over.
Mm.
So I don't think that there is a reason to assume that at any point in our history, they would ever turn against us in any way.
They always handle issues in a fair and balanced manner.
And all they've ever done is stop wars and give candy to babies. Except not too much candy, because that would mess up their teeth, and that would be bad for them.
And then when they get wisdom teeth in the future, then they'd have to have them pulled. Because
Yeah,
of
but they don't... Babies that are raised by the government don't need their wisdom teeth pulled because their mouths are big enough.
Alrighty. So, When you, that's what you gotta do. Give candy to babies.
Give candy to babies is the moral of that story, and always trust the government.
Did you know that Nick Cage would have been in a Superman movie?
Okay, here's the thing. I have been a little bit down on DC news recently because I just haven't been caught up in the hype of Arrow or Flash or anything. I want to see a Nick Cage as Superman movie as directed by Tim Burton. I really, really want to see that. That excites me to levels beyond average comprehension. I want to see him just like get hit by kryptonite, or like kryptonite comes near him, and instead of being like normal Superman thing where he just gets weak, like he just loses his poop. I want to see that.
Oh!
Oh no, not the kryptonite!
Put the kryptonite back in the box.
I need to see Nicolas Cage as Superman. I really, really want to see that movie. He's in Left Behind. I kind of want to see that because it's Nick Cage and Left. That is the most absurd thing I can like. Other than maybe Superman, Nick Cage and Left Behind is probably the most absurd thing I can think of.
What about a Nick Cage Aquaman?
That's just normal. Aquaman always sucks.
Okay. Has he played the president in something before? The president, some world leader.
In Face Off, I thought he played like some.
He was a priest.
Somebody important. Is that what he was?
He was a priest. Yeah. There's I think it's Mojo that does it. Mojo Videos or something like that. They do like the top 10, like top 5 Nick Cage moments. It's pretty funny.
Lots of people do that on YouTube. That is a very common, like doing Nick Cage YouTube things for your YouTube channel is like answering Yahoo questions on a podcast, which is what the chat is asking us to do right now.
Did you hear the story about the swarm of 800,000 bees? Did you hear the story about that?
What?
There was in Arizona. There was a swarm of estimated 800,000 bees. The hive was like the size of a 55-gallon drum. This hive was in a person's attic.
Okay. Did it attack the person and kill them?
Not the homeowner. The homeowner is fine. I guess they were disturbed by a lawnmower and they attacked and killed one person and 4 others were injured. I think one other might have been in serious condition.
I was stung by a bee this week. It was not excruciatingly painful. It was like a 3.
Okay.
If 10 is dying, it was like maybe a 2, probably.
Okay.
Maybe 3.
So imagine getting stung like all over by bees, millions of bees.
Oh no, not the bees!
Yeah, they were a hive though, like 55-gallon drum. That's quite the hive. But the homeowner.
Question from Yahoo Answers.
Okay.
Yahoo answers questions.
All right.
What gender of books do you prefer?
I guess I'd say male.
Okay. Why am I so handsome?
Because you decided to wear your lucky socks.
Your lucky socks.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Scrolling through here.
Okay.
So if women eat peanut butter and ham sandwiches when pregnant, what do men eat when pregnant?
Bacon and Eggs? Bacon and eggs.
How old is Captain America?
89. He was born in 89, I believe. 1889. So that would place him at 11. What 19? I'm gonna do math here. 40. That means he would have been 40 something. 40. Well, are we counting the time? Because I guess technically he didn't age while frozen. So, I mean, are we gonna count that time? Or are we just gonna? Or are we gonna count all of it?
All right, here's the question.
Okay.
What is half of $115.43? Goes on to say, I know 115. Let's see it. I know 115.43 divided by 2 equals 57.715, but how much would that be in money?
Well, let me tell you that there is not a way to break that evenly. So therefore, it would probably, 17 cents or whatever in 17 cents? Just be done with it.
How do videos on YouTube have millions or billions of views when there's only 700,000 people on the planet?
Whoa! It's because those 700,000 people watch the videos over and over and over again.
Those 700,000 people have to watch videos a lot to make it go up in the millions.
If they watch it twice, that's 1.4 mil. So there. Stick that in your pants.
Let's see, more questions that are safe for our podcast. Nope.
Family friendly.
Can
here.
I get sick from a computer virus?
The answer to the question lies in the question itself. No.
How can I convince my Buddhist friend that he owes me money from 3 lifetimes ago? Question is, are you going to answer the last one?
Okay. The answer to the last one is you have to ask him about his last life. And if he doesn't remember it, then you can just disprove Buddhist right there. If he does remember it, then you fit it into the story somehow. What's
All
his
right,
next
I'm gonna
question?
finish on this one.
All right.
Final question.
Okay.
Why does my butthole have a burning sensation when I fart?
Oh, no. Is that the whole question?
It goes on to say, whenever I fart, it feels like the fart is just tearing through my butt. To which I would answer, what did you eat? Because I want some.
Do you? Do you really?
Part of me. Not my butthole, obviously.
Imagine what that would do to you.
That would destroy me in so many ways.
I guess wipe more?
That wouldn't help you when you're farting and you burn. That would hurt more, probably.
Well, why is it hurt to begin with? Is he not wiping, therefore he's getting rashes down in that part of the area?
I don't know why you went straight to wiping. It probably has to do with what he was eating, obviously.
Unless he's eating
As
like
someone that suffers with this problem frequently,
jalapeno juice.
it probably has to do with what you ate.
Jalapeno juice.
Jalapeno juice would probably do it, yes.
Well, I mean, isn't that what happens? Like, you have a similar problem with jalapenos, don't you?
I have a problem. Any spicy food that I eat is negatively released.
That's kind of what I'm referring to.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough Yahoo answers.
Fart juice.
Fart juice, is that the name of the episode?
If that problem persists, you might want to see a doctor.
Yeah, unless you're me, and don't see a doctor ever
And then,
until your wisdom teeth start hurting. Oh,
then
excuse
it's
me.
normal. It's all normal.
It's been an hour. We're reaching the end of our time. Do you have anything else special you want to talk about?
I mean, there's theories of Arrow and Flash, and specifically Arrow that we could talk about, and Flash, I guess, that I could talk about, but it's kind of spoilery, and maybe not everyone cares, so watch the show.
What a nerd.
Well, I bought a comic book last week.
Did it suck?
I don't know. I haven't read it yet. It hasn't. They had to order it because they were out of stock.
We don't talk about comics on this podcast. We established that.
Did we establish that? I think that's unestablished. That we can't establish that again because I have no outlet for that.
If you want to hear us talk about comics on this podcast, or not talk about comics on this podcast, or if you want to ask us any questions in general, you can email us at theculturemypeople@gmail.com. It's the email address for everything here at theculturemypeople.com. If people want to listen to you, Drewby, how can they find you?
Twitter.com/Drewby132, Facebook.com/Drewby132. Would you like to go a step further? Okay. Twitter.com/Drewby132. On that page, there is a link to my Google Plus profile. You can check more out there.
Only people that want to know you on a deeper level can go to your Google Plus profile.
It's a special place. It's a special.
Drewby is single and ready to mingle. Hit him up on Google Plus. That's his favorite place for interaction.
It's where all the hot babes are.
Are you indicating something about yourself when we just emphasized your being single when you're talking about all the hot babes on Google Plus, or by referring to them as hot babes, are you indicating why you are still single?
Or do you mean it is a day to be good on?
My name is Michael Nip. You can find me on twitter.com/MichaelNip, MichaelKnipp, or facebook.com/TheRealMichaelNip. That was my wife, Amanda. You can find her at, I don't know any of her information, but she's Amanda Nip.
Heyo!
I don't think she has shortcuts to anything. I know a lot of her information. I know how to log onto her Facebook. I don't know the URL for it, but she doesn't like this show, so you should not friend her on Facebook. You can find our show on iTunes, where you can leave positive reviews or 5-star reviews if you'd like. If you want to leave a 1-star review, you could close iTunes and then not do that, because that's kind of a jerk move. You can also find us on BeyondPod if you're an Android user. That's our favorite podcast app. You still listen to podcasts, Drewby? Have you graduated?
No, I have not moved on. I finished the Bombcast today. Maybe there's an Arrow podcast. I should check.
I will ask this question once. I don't want to get into another debate at the end of our time. Do you really think that the TV show Arrow on the CW is enough of a is enough alone to constitute a podcast?
Yes.
Okay. So for the culturemypeople.com's hashtag follow the conversation episode 19, this has been Michael Nip, and as always, my co-host,
Controversial Drewby!